Hi everybody. So today we are going to do our 10-minute tune-up in our work from home from the floor. So you probably will want to change into your pajamas if you aren't already in them, or something that you can really have full range of motion in. If you have a quarantine companion that wants to join you or wants to just hang out while you do it, don't worry too much about them. Just let them do whatever they want to do. You just worry about you and getting into your body together, releasing a little bit of the tension that's built up. So finding a nice spot on the floor. I'm going to use a couple of props today. So I have props here because I practice regularly. If you don't, that's okay. You can absolutely use a long pillow or a smaller, firmer pillow from your couch. So if you want to pause this video and take a moment to get those or to change, go ahead and do that. And if you have props close to you, you can grab them and we will go ahead and get started. So coming to kneeling or sitting cross-legged, sit cross-legged this time. Just gonna warm up the spine a little bit. So bringing hands onto your knees, palms facing up. Inhale to lift up through the core, tall spine. If you have your hair up in a bun, just like me, imagine there's a little string coming out of that, suspending you up to the ceiling, but taking a little bit of movement through the spine, keeping nice and soft. Closing the eyes if it feels good to you. Allow yourself to start to breathe fully. Inhale, soft belly. Exhale, empty the lungs, squeezing the belly button towards the spine. Inhaling through the nose, nice and deep. Expand the rib cage, fill the lungs, soft belly. Exhale, empty the lungs, squeeze the belly button towards the spine, making room for new air. And inhale. Exhale. Bringing hands onto the knees. Inhale to bring the chest forward, lift the chin up, gently pulling back on the knees. Exhale, bringing the chin down towards the chest, rounding the spine, maybe pressing down on the knees a little bit here. And again, inhale, lift through the chest, pulling back on the knees, chin to ceiling. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, lift through the chest, chin to ceiling, pulling back. Exhale, round the spine, spread the shoulder blades, chin to chest. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, broadening across the chest. If you're not comfortable on the floor, you can always do this sitting in a chair at any time throughout the workday. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to center, tall spine. Bringing the legs right out in front of you. I'm going to bring the sole of the left foot over top of the right leg. So sole of the left foot to the floor. And then if it's accessible to you, roll over onto the right hip and drag the right heel back towards you. So have your legs sort of crossed here. If the sole of the left foot comes up off of the floor, don't worry. It doesn't really matter how it looks. See if you can have both hips so they're sitting on the floor here. If you can't, again, don't worry about it too much. Find a spot that you can stay in for a couple of breaths. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the right arm down behind, letting the fingers rest on the floor. And bring that left hand down around the knee. Turning open to the right side. 2 deep breaths here. Exhale, squeeze the belly button towards the spine. And coming back out of it. Inhale, both arms up overhead. We're going to reverse. So exhale, left fingers down. Right arm comes down to the right knee. Maybe hand on the knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turning the gaze to the left. See if you can soften through the hips. 2 big breaths here. Breathing in and out through the nose. And one more. Inhale for length. Exhale, squeezing belly button towards the spine, gazing over the left shoulder. And unravel, come back to center, legs out in front. And we're gonna switch. So bringing the sole of the right foot over the left leg, rocking onto the left hip, drag the left heel back, and release the sole of the right foot from the floor. So legs are crisscrossed. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left fingers down, right hand to right knee. Inhale, lift up through the core. Exhale, gaze to the left, squeezing belly button to spine to empty the lungs. 2 big breaths here. And again, together, inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right fingers down behind. Left hand either around the knee or onto the knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, gazing over the right shoulder. Gentle tension on the right knee. Trying to keep both hips on the ground if you can. Again, if it doesn't feel good to do this sitting, you can always modify and do this in a chair. One more big breath together. And release, coming back to center. You're gonna grab a small firm pillow if you have one, or if you have a larger pillow, you can always fold it in half. Coming down onto your back, you're gonna have your block or your pillow set up, and it's gonna slide right underneath the sacrum. So we're gonna be coming into bridge pose. You might be familiar with this more as an active pose, but we are going to come into bridge like normal and then prop this underneath just to give us a little bit of a massage and release in the lower back. So coming down onto the back, walk the heels in close to the bum. Inhale, lift the hips up. Feet should be about 6 inches apart here. And then slide that walk underneath the tailbone. If you're new to this pose, keep it on the lowest setting or your pillow and slowly lower down. When I'm teaching classes, I always use the example, and this doesn't really matter if you're a man or a woman. Imagine that you are Britney Spears circa 1998 and you're wearing really low-rise pants with a blingy belt. The middle of that belt should be in the center of your block or your pillow. If you feel any pinching, press down through the feet, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips up, and readjust your block until it just feels like a nice, gentle massage. Allow your arms to come down to the floor, palms facing up. Wherever they go is totally fine. Just going to take a couple of breaths here. Maybe close your eyes. Breathing deeply into the belly. Exhale, release. As you inhale, filling up the whole body, see if you can soften a little bit on your exhale. Soft hips, soft shoulders, melting down into the support of your block or your pillow. You're on the ground. There's nowhere to fall. Relax. Inhale, exhale, relax. Next inhale, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, ground down through the feet. Using the glutes, lift the hips up, slide your blocker pillow out to the side. If you want to stay here longer, please feel free to do so. We're going to come into our last pose. I have another prop here that, again, a lot of you might not have. You can always use a regular pillow folded long ways. So you're going to put this in the middle of your mat. It's going to line up just at the top of your tailbone or your hips. For some people, it might be lower or mid-back. And coming to seated, slowly release down onto here. Feel free to adjust. Basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be opening up through the chest. This gets really tight when we're sitting over our computers. You might even find, if you happen to have a really long body pillow or you do have one of these, it might feel better for you to have your entire spine along it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Whole spine all the way up to the top of my head. Take a minute, figure out what feels good for you. If you are on something that lifts you up off the floor, take your feet a little bit wider so you don't have to worry about rolling somewhere funny. And then backs of the hands to the floor. All together, we're going to do 5 snow angels. So if you have anything on the floor, maybe just push it out of the way. Moving with your breath, dragging the fingers slowly down along the floor. You might have some crunchy bits, some sore bits, some stiff bits. If your fingers don't reach the floor, that's okay. It's all about opening up. Bringing the fingers back up overhead. And another snow angel, nice and slow. Heavy arms. Make a mental note of where those crunchy, crickety, crackety, popping bits are. That's just showing you areas that you don't get a lot of movement into. Always moving with your breath, moving slowly. There's nothing to be afraid of as long as you're moving mindfully. Taking 2 more snow angels at your own speed. And then when you're ready, see if you can find that spot that maybe feels like, ooh, if you were having a massage, you'd ask them to work on that a little bit more. So for me, my arms, I'm going to keep them in a capital T shape because my prop underneath my back is kind of acting as a trigger point release in between my shoulder blades. So I'm going to stay here with you guys, 5 to 10 deep breaths. Maybe moving the arms up and down just an inch or two, really working into those tough spots. If it felt better to you to keep slowly moving, feel free to do that too. 3 more breaths together wherever you are. Inhale, exhale, release heavy into the floor, into your prop. 2 more breaths. Last one all together. And bringing your arms down along your side, palms to the floor. Maybe drag them up a bit, propping yourself up on your elbows. And removing your prop. Together, coming to seated. It looks like I'm a little bit over 10 minutes, only 15 minutes today. Inhale, spread the arms, reach, hands together, exhaling out through the mouth. Inhale, exhale. For those who are not familiar with the term Namaste, Namaste is a Sanskrit word that means my soul recognizes your soul. The light in me recognizes the light in you. And in these times, I thought that that is something that might bring a little bit of light and hope to each and every one of you. So with that, namaste.